Hey everybody, welcome back to the Financially Lit Podcast. Today I'm going to speak about why you would want to join the Cashflow family by opening up an IVA account and how this could benefit you, depending on what your goals are. So let's get into it. So first things first, what is an IVA account? Well, an IVA account is kind of like your bank account, except you're not holding fiat cash in there or any currencies in there. You're actually holding real money. That'd be gold or silver in an ecclesiastical sovereign trust. It's in a trust position. It's actually not in a commercially regulated position at all. It's in an ecclesiastical position, meaning it's outside the jurisdiction of the IRS or the SEC or any of these government bodies that traditionally get their hands on whatever goes in accounts for taxation purposes. This vehicle is squarely outside of that jurisdiction. So that's number one. You have an IVA account. You can open an IVA account by co-vesting, not investing, because that's over here. We're cooperatively vesting in creative association together so that you can open this trust account. 21 ounces of a precious metal, whether that's silver or gold, you're able to actually open that account and then you have an IVA. Now, what does this benefit you? Well, when you open a trust account like an IVA at our family office, our family trust, you're engaging in our Cashflow family. You become a member of our Cashflow family. And this is important because as a Cashflow family, we as a trust squish all of our IVA accounts together so that we can acquire assets that cash flow for the family as a whole out greater than what we could have done on our own. So let's say the Cashflow family had an idea that we wanted to acquire a piece of real estate. This piece of real estate might be a few $1,000,000, the down payment might be a few $100,000. And with that in mind, maybe we're not able to do that on our own, but together, all of us squishing it together through the trust can then acquire an asset for the group. Now that the trust has acquired an asset for the group, it's very simple. We go get the asset and we make sure as a unit that that asset is going to be good for cash flow. It's going to have a certain cash on cash return. The trust is going to evaluate it as a whole. The board will evaluate it. And if it's going to make good cash flow for the trust, then as a whole, we'll acquire that asset. With that being said, how are we going to split up the cash flow from that asset? Well, it's actually equal to the amount that you put up to begin with. So let's say we needed $1 million to syndicate so that we can go get a down payment, for example, on a piece of real estate. The real estate might be $10 million or it might be, 5, 6, 7 million, depending on what we're looking at. If we needed $1 million and we had, just for easy numbers, 10 people that all had 100,000 in this trust position, these 10 people could squish their 100,000 together to make $1 million, and the trust goes to the bank, buys that asset. I'm sorry, I just said a cuss word. There's no buying or selling here. The trust will acquire that asset through leverage, and then once that acquisition is made, the trust will then remit royalty rewards back to each of the 10 people that squished their money together to get it in the first place. Now that royalty reward comes back to your IVA account. That's why you have to have an IVA account to participate. Your IVA account is not cash money, right? It's not currency. It's real gold and silver. So you have silver coming back in the form of a royalty reward back to your IVA account. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, that's not a taxable event. You don't have taxes owed on any of the royalties coming back through the trust's acquisitions because the trust acquired it. Then you're a member of the trust. So that means you're able to get a piece of what the trust got because you put in with us. That's the contract. That's the royalty reward sharing covenant that we all agree to when we make an acquisition in syndication through the trust. So with all this in mind, I know this might be a little high level. You might not be following me right now. Get a one-on-one with me. Schedule it. We can sit down. I can teach you and show you exactly what we're talking about. I can help you open an IVA account. I can help you and show you how to leverage it and squish it into one of these opportunities to cash flow with us. When you're part of our Cashflow family, there's many different CPOs that we go towards. A CPO is a cooperative procurement opportunity. Each CPO is a different acquisition opportunity for us to cash flow in these different vehicles. We have whole life insurance syndication CPOs. We have real estate syndication CPOs. We have small business syndication CPOs. We're creating different opportunities for you to be able to syndicate your wealth, squish it together with us in trust so that we together can acquire assets that are far greater than we could have done on our own, as well as mitigate all the tax liability that would be coming back to that cash flow because it's not in the commercial jurisdiction. It's over here in the ecclesiastical trust. It's brilliant. Honestly, it's what the wealthy do. The wealthy use these kind of trusts, and they use them very, very beautifully so that they can mitigate as much taxes as possible, make sure that the government can't confiscate their wealth whenever they make oodles and oodles of wealth in some way, shape, or form, that the government loves seeing that and creating new laws so they can get their hands on a piece of that wealth creation. These laws have been in place for a long time. These jurisdictions are set in stone. They're completely different. And when you learn how to operate in this one and this one, you can cash flow in both. You can go commercial and pay taxes where taxes are due, give to Caesar what Caesar's due. And then over here, when you're playing in the ecclesiastical jurisdiction, there's just certain rules that you're allowed to play by. And one of those things is that hands off federal government, hands off state government, hands off commercial jurisdiction. This is not anywhere in your zone. We operate by different rules over here. So when you understand these things, you can move accordingly. You can make sure that you set your family up in positions that they're going to cash flow, and you can start creating some kind of generational wealth in your family so that your children and your children's children don't have to trade time for dollars every day and be employees. They can actually acquire assets that cash flow. You can set up a family trust, and that trust can take care of your posterity and beyond. All you have to do is be in the position to be able to learn and focus and apply this to your life. If you can do that, then we can cash flow together and you can be a part of our cash flow family. And if you just want to learn some of this stuff, please come sit down with me. It takes 20 minutes for me to explain exactly what we do through a CPO or something like that. And I can help you open up an IVA account if it all makes sense. With that being said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you, and I'm looking to spread wealth and happiness everywhere I go.